Hi, it's Ann from the Useless Crafter. So I finally made it to Michael's to get the foam sheets. So we are gonna do the cake top shakers with foam. So I'm excited to do that because from what I can tell, it's already giving, just from 2 sheets, it's giving me the height that I want with less work. So we'll see what it looks like. I wanted to do, it's not necessarily a cake top shaker. I kind of feel like, you have your cake topper, and then you want other little things to go with your party decor. So I feel like this is a good thing to put up. Like it could either go by the food or the presents. It's just like another decor type thing. But I wanted to make something because it's not a cake topper per se. I wanted something to match my daughter's graduation cap. And this was one of my favorite projects. It's so glittery, so pretty. But this is hanging up, so I kind of wanted something that we could have more accessible. So I kept with the same theme, and I do like using the round shape for the cake toppers because it just gives you a lot of space to put the shaker thingies in there, and it's also easy to work with. So, all right, this will be in Design Space. The tutorial for the Design Space piece will be up this week, but we're putting it together first so that when I do that video, I have something to show you and why we do things the way we do. So, okay, first things first, I love this glue gun. We're gonna be using this glue gun as well as my Xyron sticker machine thing. It's the Creative Station, but basically in my mind, it turns everything into stickers. So we really wanna use that to make sure that the foam is completely covered, the foam sheet is covered with the tape so that we don't have leakage of the sequins, which I've been having issues with. This I get a lot of questions on. This is Sure Bonder, and it has a stand, which I love, and it's cordless, and it has a little thing to catch the glue drippings, which is just like amazing. Okay, so you have that plugged in. Oops, I don't have it plugged in. Oh, I do. Okay, it's turned on. I made some of the butterflies already. One of the things that I wanted to show you today is to make butterflies that stay propped open and are stable and steady. So like this is, some of these butterflies are sitting on top of the other butterflies, and it's totally fine because we made them really stable with our glue, using the glue gun. So what I did was I basically made little glue dots in here. I let them dry first, and I don't use it as a gluing mechanism. I'm using it as a way to keep the wings propped open. So you let it dry. We're not using it to stick. We're just using it to give it the height and dimension that we want. So this is how we're gonna do it. All right, I saved 2 butterflies to show you today. These butterflies they have at least 2 layers. Some of them have up to 5 layers. And the more you have, like this one has 4, it's just really pretty. Like you see all the different colors. It has a lot of depth to it. Just even though on this one I'm using just purple, purple, pink, and gold, but you can see it just gives it an extra look. Like it doesn't feel like it's just cardstock or paper. Okay, so what you want to use is, and I don't have it out, so give me a sec. Oh, here it is. The scraper tool. This will help me fold up the butterflies. So this butterfly is 3 layers, the gold, purple, and white. So I just lay them up like the way you would if you were assembling it. Put it right down the middle and then bend up half of it. So it gives you a nice crease. Just bend it with your fingers. This is pretty stable. I have glitter cardstock, 2 layers of glitter cardstock, and the white is 65-pound paper. So you can bend it and it's fine. It can hold its weight and that. Okay, so our middle layer, what you want to do is, this is where we're adding the glue dots, okay? So we have it, okay, good. It's folded in half, so on each side of the fold, you just want to create a little dot. And I'm gonna let it dry, and that's gonna keep my wings propped open. So you see, okay. So we'll let that dry. On the glitter one, because these are so delicate, I've only been putting glue just to stick it down. If it was a different layer, I probably would put 2 more dots here to keep it propped open. All right, so we're gonna let this set dry. Let's look at this one. This one's teeny tiny, okay? And this one has 4 layers. And you can see it's so pretty. I love, this is all Cricut cardstock, except for that pink. It's just regular pink paper from probably Joann's or Michael's, I don't even know. But I always wait till they go on sale and then buy it, so. Okay, so this one's folded and the bottom layer doesn't have any glue on it. So that the second to the bottom, this is where we wanna create our glue dots. So go ahead and grab that, a little dot on each side. Okay, and just leave it out to dry. And then we have one more layer over here that we will do the same. This is the gold layer. Okay. And we'll let this dry. We'll go back to our first one. So here's the most back layer of the butterfly. And then we're gonna put, now that these little glue dots, they're dry, we'll put a little bit of glue on to actually use it as glue. And then we'll put it down to our layers there. All right, so when you're putting it down, I'm sort of just playing with it as I put it down. So I wanna make sure that there's space. I'm bending it so that it has the space that I want. And you can even curl up your paper a little bit. But it will never close because of that little gap. So that's as far in as it'll go. And same thing on this side. Okay, so that's down. On this one, this little delicate layer, just put glue where as much as you can, like in that center piece. And because this is staying on top, I mean, it's not being manhandled, so it doesn't need a lot of glue to stay together. All right, we'll let this one dry a little bit. Let's work on the smaller one. So I build it from the back up. So here's our most back layer, the gold, and then let's do the pink. So a little bit of glue on top of our glue dots, and then in the center a little bit, just to make sure it sticks. And I'm sort of bending it down to give it the height that I want. We're just kind of playing with it right now. It depends on how many butterflies you have and the look that you're going for. You can either have them really propped open or just a little bit sitting on the side. So since I kind of have a mixture, I just wanted this one maybe a little bit more flat. Okay, so our next layer, the gold, same thing, just a little bit on the glue dots and in the center to make sure it sticks. And you can see with even just the 3 layers, it's already so cute. Okay, and then our last layer, we just want to make sure it sticks. No glue dots or anything like that. So just down the middle. All right. And you can see I'm still bending it. I'm trying to determine what kind of shape I want. And with this, the middle of the gold, you can actually bend it up a little bit to give it the dimension that you want. So there. So here's the first one that we did, so pretty. And here's the second one. All right, so now let's start building our circle. So our circle is basically the back layer. This is going to hold all the sequins, right? We're gonna have the 2 layers of the foam sheet in the middle like this. And then that will hold our sequins in there. So you can see it doesn't need a lot of depth, just enough to hold sequins, and they're tiny, right? So you have that. Then we're gonna put the little clear sheet on top so you can see through. And then you're gonna put this on top, which is the color we're actually gonna see. And then our final layer is this delicate layer that goes on top. And inside will be the sequins, okay? So that's the deal. So I'm gonna use the Xyron machine because I think that this is gonna be a good project for it. I'm gonna move this a little bit. I am new to this Xyron machine, but I'm kind of in love already. So here it is. This is it folded up, okay? So the handle pops out like that. You're gonna crank it, it's manual. And then inside is your sticker sheets. It's a roll. So you're gonna put it down, open it up like this. We're gonna feed our items through like this, okay? So we'll feed the first one through and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's our foam sheet. You're gonna stick it in like so, and then you're just going to turn it. You just need to make sure that it's being fed through and it caught. So, all right, so it's in, and I'm just cranking it this way so you can see now. Once it goes all the way through, you're gonna clamp it down here, and there's a little blade right here to cut off the paper. Okay. So here it is. I like to just rub it down to make sure that my sticker is on the back. So it goes in face up. The bottom layer is what's gonna get the sticker. So when it comes out, you have like a saran wrap on top, because this layer sticks and it saves, it picks up all the stickiness all the way around. So this is what happens. All right, so let's pull this out. So when you pull this layer off, wherever you had empty space, it's picking up the stickiness on this one. So you can see. But my item right here is not sticky. Okay, so just pull that off, crinkle it up. Okay, so now let me get my piece that it's gonna sit on. So now this guy, when I pull this off, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all the stickiness is this whole foam base. So this whole thing is extremely, extremely sticky. So I'm gonna just put it down onto my other foam piece and just go all the way around. I wanna make sure it lays flat. And this is really sticky. The one that I have in is permanent adhesive right now. It's the fuchsia color. All of the refills have colored dots, and the dots tell you what kind of sheet it is. So I think there's permanent, there's like a magnet one. So like I said, this one's permanent. It's really, really, really sticky. Okay, so this is in. And what I want to do is I just want to trim this a little bit. I want to make sure that the green doesn't show at all. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors. Here we go. And I'm just going to trim a little bit just to make sure. Now I could have done this in Design Space, but I wasn't really thinking about it when I was designing it. Like in my head it made sense, but I didn't realize I was gonna have bright green foam paper from Michaels. So I wanna make sure that my beautiful, you know, pink and gold isn't gonna be distracted by the green. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a little bit more. And it's a good thing that this is really big because it gave us a lot of room to cut. Okay, so I've cut that. I also want to trim the inside a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit to make sure. I'm gonna cut it this way, okay. So I trim the outside, I'm trimming the inside. This will make sure that none of my green is gonna show. And it still gives us enough space for it to be stable and sturdy and definitely hold the sequins in. All right. It's getting stuck. Let's see, just a little bit more cutting. Yeah, I think when we're in design space for the next shaker project, I'm definitely going to just trim it smaller so we don't have to cut at all with our scissors. All right, so here's our piece. Now I'm gonna run it through one more time, and I'm gonna this time, okay, let's see, let's get that in there. Start rolling it, and it looks like it caught right away. All right, so we have that. Now I'm gonna want top and bottom layer, so I'm gonna peel this off. Then I'm gonna keep this top layer on, because if I peeled off this top layer, it would be sticky, and I don't want it to be sticky. I wanna be able to run this through. And then I'm just gonna cut off this extra piece right here. All right, so I'm gonna run it through face down because I want this side to get all that stickiness in. So again, I'm gonna stick it through. And you can feel when it catches, so you know you're good. And then I'm just gonna run this through. Oops. Okay, so here's my bottom layer, and then my acetate's gonna go on top. So let's peel this off and see what we have. There's that. Okay, so this is really, really sticky. So I'm tempted to put this down. I can't do that because my shape is warped. Okay, so I pulled it off. And then putting it down. Okay. And then I would put my acetate paper on top. Oh no, wait. Gotta put my sequins in. Okay. So put a little bit in. I have some from here. I'll put a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm gonna pick off some of these because when I poured it in, some from the cap came off. So I'll use my X-Acto knife. All right, I think we're good. It's so sticky that it's fine. Okay. Put our acetate paper on top. You can put in as much as you want, but I think that's good. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna put our gold layer on top. so that's good. I'm just gonna use my, I wanna make sure everything's covered, so I'm sort of doing it little bit by little. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on here. So that's on. I did the leaf, this little vine, so it comes through. So I'm just gonna glue it from behind and get the whole thing on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down. I'm just gonna take it and put the glue on and put the whole thing over. Can you hear it? I love it, and I don't see anything coming out, so it's definitely sealed. Okay, now we're just gonna add the butterflies. Now normally you would have a name or something on here. I didn't want to put 2020, it was for my daughter's graduation, so I'm sort of just leaving it blank, just something that she can put up in her room. So, okay, so let's start adding the butterflies. So there are 9 butterflies total, and I think you kind of should just put it down and layer it and then kind of mess with it before we completely glue it down. So let me just make sure we have all our butterflies. Okay. What do I want? You got to figure out which way you want to be the top. All right. So, and there's 3 different types of butterflies, so you kind of just want to make sure you separate them so you don't have all 3 of the same. I did different sizes as well. And I like the look of it, one butterfly sitting on top of another butterfly. So that's going to have to be a small one. So just kind of keep that in mind. I kind of like that. Let's see. These 2 are the same. Okay. Oh. And I'll take that one out and put 2 over here. Okay. I can't decide how I want to do this. Okay. This is going to be the way you want it. So once you have it glued, and then you're just going to glue it down. So I think I'm going to want maybe 2 and then put like, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm good. All right, so let's glue these down. I'm going to glue the bottoms down. And I just glue. Okay, so that's down. That's going to go near it, kind of on top. So now I'm going to undo some of these. All right, let's get this in. So I want this one on top. And you kind of just want to see where it's sitting on top and try to glue down from that. So it's like right here. And you can glue a little bit at a time, let that one dry, and then we'll hit the wings on this side. All right, so this one, maybe like that. And now you're just kind of making sure that everything is stable. So I'm turning this around, making sure that this butterfly hits some glue. Okay. I'm going to turn it this way around to get the wings on this side. Ooh. Okay, then we have the massive butterflies over here, so let's see. So I'm gonna let that dry before I put that last one sitting on top. I just wanna make sure all of this now is stable with some glue. Okay. And this one. I need to turn it around to make sure I like it. This one's really sitting on top, so I need to make sure it dries really well right there. Okay. And there's your little shaker. So I think you can definitely put an initial or a name or something there. I still have some leaves. I cut up 2 leaves just to add some greenery. So we could put that in the middle. Maybe not even glue it, but there's like little holes that we can stick it through. All right, there you have it. I hope that was helpful. I love this Xyron machine and my other tool, the Sure Bonder glue gun. All right, thanks guys, bye.